My favorite thing would be winning. I like to win. I like to look at my coaches' faces when I win, especially when it's with the technique that they gave me, and I practiced it hard, and then I'm able to execute it in a fight against somebody else in competition. That's the best feeling in the world.
Me, like the honest, heartfelt answer is just a competition. I love competing. Whether it's tic-tac-toe, chess, words with friends, you guys look me up, I'll spank you on there. Whatever it is, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo, sambo, whatever the rules are, whatever it is, I just love to compete.
Well, I have to say probably just being a kid still. Like I get to play around. Like this is being a fighter is like being a grown kid. You get to just like this is an adult playground for me. I get to go out and just roughhouse all day long. I get to hang out with the boys and I get to talk gym talk all day long. I don't have to go out and be serious until I leave my adult playground, which is the gym. So I have to say that's my favorite thing about being a fighter. I get to just be a grown adult but grown kid at the same time. It's fun.
Favorite thing about being a fighter is going in there and sparring hard and getting punched and punching people back.
Favorite thing about being a fighter is the competition, the will. The people always say you can't do something and you go out there and you prove them wrong. You say you can't run 10 miles and you quit at 9, but you're crawling for the rest of the mile. That's what makes me a fighter. That's what I love about being a fighter.
My least favorite thing about being a fighter is probably cutting weight, not being able to eat what my family's eating at home when I get home from practice, like pizza, candies is one of my favorite things, and just junk food.
My least favorite thing about being a fighter is getting punched in the face, man. I love it, it's awesome, but after a while your body starts hurting, and it's like every other day at work. Sometimes you just don't want to go to work, but once you get into the office, it's time to work.
I'm sure everybody says the weight cut, but outside of that though, it's year round. There's no off season. You're always on the grind. You're always having to watch what you eat. You're always having to be the little guy. There's some sports out there where you get to eat a little more. Well, here you always have to watch your diet. You always have to be lean. You always have to be ready. So there's really no downtime. There's not much downtime anyway. So I'd probably say that's my least favorite thing.
Least favorite's got to be weight cutting. I think it's probably everybody's answer, but I absolutely hate it. I didn't wrestle. I wrestled one time in high school, so I'm not used to weight cutting. It sucks. It's miserable, but it's important. So, it's part of the game, and, I hate that part of it. Second least favorite, I don't think I have one. Besides that, everything's good. If I could just not weight cut, I'd be happy.
Least favorite thing about being a fighter goes back to being the least favorite thing about kind of a lot of individual sports. Wrestling is cutting weight, not eating. I've been doing it since I was 13 years old. And wrestling season is right during my birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the best feast holidays. My birthday, I didn't have a birthday cake for like 9 years. So it made me very sad. And then I would sneak a bite of whatever, at Thanksgiving dinner, I would sneak a bite of something, and I'd feel guilty, but I'd feel bad about it, and I would go run 5 miles. The worst is just that feeling of guilt. I shouldn't have ate that. I shouldn't have drank that. Why did I do that? So yeah, least favorite thing about fighting is making weight, not eating. Eating the right way, eating the times I'm supposed to eat, eating the foods I'm supposed to eat. I just want to go have a double-double. Come on, man. I just want a double-double. It's, whatever.
Things I crave after I'm done cutting weight, usually it's like Mexican tacos or something, but the most thing I crave is kind of like a soda. For some odd reason, once I'm getting down to the last pound or two, I start craving that soda, Coca-Cola, and I start like imagining all these kind of things in my head, but once I make weight, I get none of them.
But I'd have to say anything that was probably around me the most that I couldn't have. So like, if for instance I went out and everybody was having chicken fajitas, I want chicken fajitas after we get done. If everybody, for some reason, was talking about going to Mexico, everybody was talking about fish tacos, that's what I want after my fight. So probably whatever the last thing I'd seen that was just tasty before I had to make my weight cut.
Everything, literally everything. I want everything as I'm cutting weight. Afterwards, I have my first little drink of water, you know, a little bit of Gatorade or something, and I get a little bit of food in me, and then like all the desires, oh, I gotta have this, I want this, I want this, I want this, those kind of go away a little bit. But as I'm cutting weight, I literally want everything I see in front of my face. Like, oh, that looks so good. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, that strawberry looks like the best strawberry ever in the history of the planet. But you know, as I rehydrate and get some food in my body, all those kind of silly desires go away a little bit.
Pizza and beer, and cheeseburgers and hot dogs and French fries with ranch, ketchup, and what else? Potato chips, burritos. Basically, anything with beer is great after you weight cut. That night celebration food, that's all I want.
Two. A role model to me would be kind of somebody like, I don't know, I would have to go with the normal answer and say my parents, just because of the struggle they went through bringing us into the country. You know, they came illegally into the U.S. and for us to have a better future and for me to be at the place I'm at right now, I just have to thank them.
I guess kind of my motto to how I fight, I take it from a runner named Steve Fontaine. And I like to hit a little quote saying that the person who set the pace wins the race, and I kind of feel like that's the way I fight. So I really, but that motto's kind of stuck with me. So I have to say maybe Steve Fontaine is probably somebody I look up to and maybe model myself around his attitude.
First was Dan Marino. I grew up, wore his jersey, knew all his stats. Love Dan Marino, look up to him because he's a classy guy. He's the best quarterback of all time. Even though he never won a Super Bowl, he's still the best. Second guy I liked was Arnold Schwarzenegger, especially his videos, pumping iron and all that, and his training and how hard he trained and what it takes and how hard you got to push. Then the guy for fighting that got me, that I liked, was Fedor. Probably like a lot of other people, I'm from that generation where seeing Fedor fight and his style and the way he just went at people, is just, there's no one like him. So that's me.
For me, I was always a big fan of Clark Kent and Steve Rogers. The reason being, they're the unsung heroes. They're the good guys. They're the nice guys. They're the, say, nice guys always finish last. And Superman and Captain America and Batman, they get all the publicity and they get all the headlines and they're the sexy role. But it's the good guys, who they are deep down underneath. That's the real guys. That's who they really truly are deep down. So for me, it was always the Peter Parkers, the Clark Kents, the Steve Rogers, the Bruce Waynes that I was always drawn to.
You know what? To tell you the truth, my teammates, Ben Henderson, just the way he trains hard, he works hard, the way he carries himself, and if you ever watch him do his strength and conditioning, you know, that's one of my, that's someone I look up to during training.
Would be Anthony Bourdain, no reservations. And it actually could happen if he happens to watch this video because he's alive and he speaks English. But, you know, I love his show. I watch his show all the time, and he's always eating, like, exotic foods. And he's always, you know, my girlfriend gets pissed because I'm always interrupting her shows to watch it. She thinks it's boring, but I'm like, you know, this guy eats the best food in the world, you know, and I see him doing it, and I want to do it. So you travel and eat, so I want to hang out with him. I think it'd be pretty awesome. Plus, I think he was a hippie, and he used to party a lot, so it'd be good stories.
If I was to have dinner with one person right now tonight, it would have to be Amaya. It's my unborn baby on the way. You know, I'm excited to be a dad. You know, my first one that I know of. So other than that, I'm really excited, and I know that once I sit with her to dinner, that means she's almost getting ready to leave home.
One person I would like to share dinner with would be God, just to ask him a couple questions, especially where we go when we die. That's it.
I think I'd go dinner with Maria Magana. She's sitting right here, actually.
Oh, God.
No?
You're ridiculous.
We're going to go have dinner tonight. Anyone on the planet in history, I want her.
If I could have dinner with anybody, it would just be my boys. I'd rather have, if I could be around anybody at any time, it would just be my friends and my family. Because, to be honest, man, there's a lot of great people, man, but the people I already have around me are some of the greatest that I know, and I wouldn't want to be around anybody else, to be honest.